Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 4's live event was just revealed, and today we have an early gameplay showcase of what's going to be taking place during the event, along with an official live event teaser trailer that we are going to be showcasing at the end of the video. So make sure you guys stick around. This upcoming event is looking insane, and you do not want to miss any of it. And if you guys want to be gifted any of the brand new skins or collaborations dropping into the shop, or the upcoming Chapter 6 Season 4 Battle Pass, all you have to do is drop a like, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on, leave your epic usernames down in the comments below so I can add you and send you the gift. And a big shout out to everyone using code Nerpah1 in the item shop. You guys are legends, so thank you so much for all the support. So firstly, I want to make sure there is no confusion at all. So it was confirmed that the upcoming Fortnite DeathStar Sabotage live event is going to be taking place on June 7th at 3 p.m. Eastern, which is the final day of our current Star Wars season. So make sure you guys mark your calendars for that date and time so you do not miss out on what is going to be an absolutely banger event. And now that you guys are aware of when the event's going to be taking place, we can hop into some of our first in-game teasers that just went live a few days ago. In case you guys missed it, the last few days in Fortnite, the Spirit Realm portal located outside of Crime City over on the side of the mountain has officially reactivated. And just like our prior build-ups for Fortnite's other live events from last season's in Chapter 6, this is currently Stage 2, and there's going to be multiple other stages where the Spirit Realm portal is going to continue to activate, growing more powerful and strong and emitting a giant pink beam into the sky, exactly how we saw at the end of Chapter 6 Season 2. And this actually confirms for us that our boy Dago, who unfortunately was revealed to us at the end of last season's event to be corrupted by the evil demons and spirits in the Spirit Realm, is officially going to be making his return into Fortnite's storyline, but he's going to be known as the Mask Maker, which is basically his evil possessed alias version of himself, where he is wearing an evil mask, which is how the demons are actually controlling and possessing him to begin with, which was revealed to us thanks to a cinematic trailer that came out after our last season event. So this confirms that he is going to be coming back to the island and will be present in this upcoming event for the DeathStar Sabotage happening on June 7th. Now, along with the Spirit Realm portal making its return into the event build-up stages in-game, we also have another official in-game teaser that you guys can find over at the Resistance base point of interest, where in this room specifically, you can see there is a hologram showing the Death Star up in the sky. And this is basically Fortnite's way of showing us that the Resistance, all of the good guys that are helping us fight the evil on Fortnite's island, are basically trying to make up a plan using this hologram to see how they're going to destroy and take out the Death Star. Now, the best part for us is that data miners did find the final stage of this hologram, as it is going to be updating and changing as we get closer to June 7th when the live event takes place. And as you guys can see, based on this final stage, it basically reveals where the Death Star is going to be pointing for the upcoming event. And luckily for us, people a part of the Fortnite community actually overlaid the current island onto this hologram to give us a pretty accurate representation of where the Death Star is going to be pointing and aiming. And it actually appears that the Death Star is going to be aimed at the Lone Wolf lair, which is very interesting considering this point of interest has nothing to do with Star Wars, but was heavily connected to the Fortnite Chapter 6 storyline in our past few seasons, with obviously our boy Fletcher Kane being a big part of the last season event, where he actually was protecting Dago as he did his Spirit Realm ritual over at the portal. Now, there is a theory here on why the Death Star would be pointing at Lone Wolf as opposed to anywhere else on the Fortnite island, and that is for the simple fact that there is a mysterious Stonehenge face or mask located at the bottom basement underneath the floor, and this is one of the few areas where there's actually glass on the floor that allows us to see it. And in case you guys were unaware, during Chapter 6 Season 1, this same exact mask and Stonehenge face could actually be seen over at the big lake at the bottom of it, with the eyes still glowing and emitting this weird ominous blue. So there is some theories that this mask and Stonehenge is going to be connected to future storyline lore and seasons, and that is why the Death Star is pointing at it to try to destroy it, but we're going to have to wait and see as more information comes out. But this does confirm that the Death Star is planning on absolutely annihilating our Fortnite island, and it's pretty cool that this hologram is going to be updating and showing us where the Death Star plans to aim and move as time gets closer to the event itself. Also, make sure to add us on Snapchat for more giveaways, daily news, and special item shop gifting. And now that you guys are all caught up on the two in-game teasers that Fortnite secretly added and had been updating thing to tease the upcoming live event, we could dive into the actual live event itself, which has been pretty much fully revealed. So in case you guys do not want any spoilers, now is your time to skip ahead in the video and probably check out the live event trailer that we're going to showcase at the end of it. But as far as the actual live event itself goes, it was already confirmed in Fortnite's files that this is going to be an interactable event, which is going to be very similar to how the Galactus event took place way back in Chapter 2 Season 4 for our first ever Fortnite and Marvel dedicated collaboration season. That was one of the cooler live events as we were able to interact and actually engage with it, changing the outcome slightly where we were able to drive the battle bus, drive it into Galactus, and explode him from inside. And it's probably going to be very similar to these upcoming DeathStar Sabotage live event, where our main goal is to help the Resistance destroy the Death Star before it obviously charges up and shoots its massive cannons at the Fortnite island, inevitably destroying everything that we know and love about Fortnite. But it was confirmed that there will be a segment of the upcoming live event where we are going to be teleporting either to the Death Star itself or teleporting out into the sky, most likely by jumping through the Spirit Realm portal once it's fully activated and charged up on its final stages. And we are going to be flying X-Wings to the Death Star that's obviously out in the distance and practically destroying it like they did in the movies. And that's where a lot of the stuff about this event is actually canon and lines up perfectly with the original trilogy films that, in case you guys haven't seen, as I know a lot of you guys are younger, in those original films we actually could see the main characters in the Star Wars movies flying X-Wings. They're going through obviously fighting TIE fighters and enemies, and then they drop a bomb onto the weak spot and core of the Death Star that blows the entire thing up. And that's essentially what this upcoming live event is going to be mirroring. We're essentially going to be teleporting into X-Wings, flying to the Death Star, having to take out TIE fighters, NPCs, and maybe even General Palpatine himself, which would be pretty cool as like a final live event boss fight. And then we're going to drop bombs and destroy the Death Star, causing a massive destruction and explosion off in the distance. Now, the only part of the live event that we don't really know is exactly how it's going to end and exactly how the Spirit Realm portal is going to play a role and connect to the Star Wars theme for the Death Star Sabotage event. We obviously know that our boy Dago, the mask maker, is going to be coming back to the Fortnite island, but there is a theory here that once we destroy the Death Star, the giant purple beam and rift that the Spirit Realm portal is inevitably going to open up into the sky, just like our last season event, could end up having the Death Star and all of its explosion and remains teleport out of this reality, making it safer for us to move on to our next season. And that is how Fortnite's storyline is going to continue forward through this Star Wars collaboration, while also making sense with the Spirit Realm and all the evil demons and possessions that Dago is currently controlled by and have been tormenting the Fortnite island over the last few seasons. So of course, let me know down in the comments if you guys are excited for this, and of all of you guys watching, let me know who has seen the original Star Wars films. If you haven't already, I would recommend going and watching them. They are way better than the modern day versions, which in my opinion are pretty terrible. So definitely go check those out, and it will give you a pretty good idea of what the Death Star Sabotage live event is actually going to entail, with us hopping onto X-Wings and destroying the Death Star to save the Fortnite island once again. But with all that being said, enjoy the Chapter 6 Season 4 live event trailer. But with all that being said, that's what we got for you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.